Never heard that sound before. Hello there! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackenzie and thank you so much for being here. We are in a brand new space. Are you kidding me? Alright, so I took an unexpected hiatus. It was very hard for me. However, I had to move. I moved out of my previous apartment into a new apartment, mainly because the neighbors were creating a living situation which was unhealthy for me to be in and unsafe. So we moved. And now we're in a much bigger space, which means I have an entire room for my bookshelves, my computer, my editing system. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's great here. So I decided to come back to you all, let you know I'm still alive, having the time of my life, in fact. And I changed up the shelves, you guys, in case you didn't notice. There's a lot of fairy lights now. I'm not sure. I hope it looks good. We're hoping it looks good. Fingers crossed. If not, we'll change it up. So what I've done is I've put the bare bones on my shelf. I put the books up that I want to be represented, and I have the fairy lights. Obviously. But what I left out were a few decorative pieces, like the flowers and some candles as well that I'd like to put out. So I'm going to do that with you guys here today after we go through and do a little bookshelf tour. So it isn't in the shot right now, but I do still have my book cart. It's over there off to that wall. We will visit that one as well. I'm trying to use it more as originally intended, which was the TBR cart. So in that cart, yeah. In that cart, we have all of the books that I haven't read yet that I feel like I have, I'm the most likely to read them coming up. You know? Not necessarily like they are gonna be on my TBR, because I don't do TBRs, and who knows what next month's mood is gonna be, even though it's already almost here. Deep breath. So we'll start with the bookshelf and then we'll go over to the book cart so you guys can see all of that. And I do have some books down here. Since it is my own room, I am going to be keeping my little animal fur babies outside, so I don't have to worry too much about my books being destroyed by them, so I have a little bit more free room to stretch out. So we'll visit the under the shelf as well, and I mean, let's just get going. Why not? Let's go. Okay, let's go. So this is my top left shelf. This has my art collection. It also has some tarot cards, my tarot collection, and some self-help yoga books. There's an astrology book there. There's also a book for Stardew Valley. And then on the shelf right below that, we have a variation of my problematic shelf. So we still have the Discovery of Witches trilogy back there. I believe there is a series that must not be named holding up some of my books, but also this is going to hold my special edition books with the fun pages. And then right below that, we have a shelf of unread books. And these are unread and they're going to stay on the shelf here as a background and decoration, mainly because I don't know when I'm going to read these. Some of them are series that I don't plan on buying the next one for a while, and some of them are actually scary or spooky books that I want to read during Halloween time. So we're not going to read them just yet, but they are here and I do want to read them and they are part of the plan. And then right below that we have my manga and graphic novel shelf. It still has basically the same layout, still have a bunch of Attack on Titan that has not changed. I'm not getting rid of it, I'm just going to add more to it, don't ask me. So moving on up, we are now on the top right shelf. This is also a shelf of unread books. These are completed series and also some just random hardcovers and bigger books that I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to reading, but I do want to read them. I just wanted them to be kind of up in front of my face so I know exactly what they are, basically to remind myself that I should read them. And then right below that, we have a similar shelf you might have seen before. It is my Rick Riordan and also Cassandra Clare shelf. So I have Percy Jackson and its extended series. I have the Rick Riordan Presents Paulo Santiago and the River of Tears. And then I also have my complete set of Cassandra Clare. It's not complete by any means, but it's everything that I have because I am missing City of Bones, which I'm not sure if I even want to buy because that series wasn't entirely my favorite, but I am getting a special edition of the Clockwork series and I'm very excited for that one. Right below that, we have my favorites shelf. This shelf pretty much has not changed. It's basically in the same setup and layout as before. And then right below that, we have a shelf of already read books. So a lot of the ones on the left you've seen me read or you've seen me post about on Instagram. So the stack on the right is books that I read from grade, I'd say like 8 to maybe 11th. These books are ones that I really enjoyed. They really left a mark on me. They're ones that I can still think about and find that I enjoyed. And I actually remember most of them, which is kind of shocking. So now we're going to talk about the ones that are under the bookshelf. These are under the bookshelf on the left. These are books that I have not read yet and that I am wanting to read. I'm just not entirely sure when I'm going to get there. And then if we continue on in a very shaky cam way, if we continue on towards the center, we have my set of classics that I do want to read for some godforsaken reason. There are a few on here that I am looking forward to and I know I'll enjoy, being Through the Looking Glass, which is the sequel to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Also, Wuthering Heights, I am looking forward to. Sense and Sensibility. But some of the other ones I know are probably just going to be a grueling process for me, but I do want to read them, like I said, for some reason. And then let's move on. In another, that was much smoother than before. These ones are books that I have read. So the stack on the left are books that are kind of just smaller in proportion. Some of them I had to read for school. One of them is my first steamy novel, and that's in there, but I definitely did not have to read that for school. Moving on to the stack on the right, these ones are books that I have read. They just don't really fit in to anything else on the shelves. They're not favorites. Some of them were good, some of them were just okay, but they definitely don't really fit on either of these two shelves that I have going on for me currently. So since I have this entire room for myself, the overall goal now is going to be getting a third shelf that looks just like one of these shelves, so I can put it off right there and eventually fill up with all of the books that I have read, and hopefully no more of books that I haven't read. Let's be honest and let's be real. If I get that third bookshelf before I finish reading all of these books that I have yet to read on my physical TBR, I'm just gonna fill it with other books to read. It's not gonna be helpful. So, it probably won't be coming for a little while. There will probably be books on the floor for a little bit, but my fur babies will be kept away from them, these books will be protected, and we have a whole new room here. Oh, yeah, let's look at the book cart real quick so you guys can see what's on that. I mean, I guess if you want to see what's on the TBR cart, but no TBR from me. But you can check out my TBR cart. Let's go. Let's just check it out. I hope that lighting's okay. The window is right there. So I have a few of my favorite magnets here, and then these are the books that I feel like I'm going to want to read absolutely next. I did end up getting, you guys, Clara and the Sun, because I couldn't help myself, okay? I couldn't help myself. I needed it, and I needed to support an author, and that's the way we're going with it, okay? So these are the books that I feel like I'm going to be reading absolutely next. So they're on the top shelf. I also have a cute little mug back there. It has all of my bookmarks in it. There are a few books back here as well. So I have my 2 nonfictions that I bought physically to read, and then I also have the 4 books that my neighbor so kindly let me borrow. So that's the top shelf. Let's just move on down. Here we have the, I guess, next set of books that I think I'm next likely to read. I have my Mythology by Edith Hamilton here that I'm actually really interested to get into. I did start reading it at some point, but stopped. But since I've read Song of Achilles and the Percy Jackson series again, and I really want to get into Circe, I think it'll be fun to revisit some of those myths. I also have Rebecca and the Bluest Eye because I need to catch up. Beach Read is here. My husband bought Life of Pi for me because he read it in high school and said I absolutely needed to read it. So he ended up getting that for me, and I thought that was so sweet. Next we have Nevermore, The Only Good Indians. This is The Institute. Some of these are some spooky ones. Some of these I'm not entirely sure if we'll actually read, but they're actually, they're here to fill out some space. Moving on to the third shelf. That's Toothless. This is a reading corner. So this is where I would put the third bookshelf if I had one. I have some pillows, some stuffed animals. These are my Pushins. This one's a narwhal. I'm sorry. I didn't buy it. A family member knew I liked it and they bought it unknowingly, but I'm sorry. So my other Pushin, my Toothless, my bee blanket. I really love this bee blanket. In fact, it's so soft. And then some pillows that I got from Five Below because I'm a basic bitch. So my third shelf down here is my Tana French series and some romances that some romances and then 2 not romances. I think these are like domestic thrillers. Romance and domestic thriller. They go together, don't they? And my Tana French series, they follow police, I believe. Yes. So this is the book cart. This is the book cart. This is the reading corner. I don't know if you'll probably see me read here if I start doing my vlogs again. And I'm not going to show you the rest of the room because there's a lot of stuff that I still need to put away, but I am going to be doing more reading vlogs since I have my own space. I don't need to stop filming at certain points of the day so that way my husband can do his own activities. It's really, really nice. I'm very excited. I'm very glad we got to move here. So again, I am sorry for I think it was a 2.5 week hiatus that I ended up taking. It was definitely not intentional. It was something that, it was very unfortunate because we had planned on moving later on. It was going to be May 8th we were going to move, and we had a different apartment picked out. I had videos ready for that time. It was a plan that we had, and then all of a sudden our safety was threatened and we needed to move as fast as possible, and we did. We ended up kicking butt. Quite frankly, we ended up kicking butt. So that 2.5 week period where there were no videos, I didn't really have access to my filming equipment or any of my electronics. A lot of my books were already put away at a certain time. I couldn't really do much. So it was a very, very stressful time for me. I'm sorry there were no videos, but know and rest assured that I have so many ideas and they are probably going to be coming much faster. Hopefully I can get on a good schedule now. I have new equipment as well. I have a microphone. I hope that this video has sounded better, hopefully, you know. I'm gonna work on getting a different tripod for my camera as well, so we have big things coming. I hope you're here for it. I'm glad you were here for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Oh wait, P.S. So, March's wrap-up is coming. A lot of the videos that are coming are videos that should have been out in the last 2 weeks. So we have things like my March wrap-up. I think we have my April reading journal that I also want to do. But the March wrap-up video is filmed at my old place because that was the last thing I got to do with my actual equipment before it all had to be packed up. So, March's wrap-up is at the old place, so if you watch it after this one, don't be freaked out. I know. Everything moving forward after March wrap-up will be filmed here. So things that might feel a little bit late are the wrap-up, the April reading journal. I think that's it. But a lot of the content coming out is going to be a little bit easier and not so much book focus, like singular book or reading focus, mainly so that way I can read for myself, decompress from the whole situation that happened, and we can move on into May. Alright, so truly goodbye this time. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye! Mm-hmm.